The flesh
will embarrass you.
Just when you think, I got this.
Talk.
I'm good. I can handle it. Okay. Gucci is the moment a boundary is about to or has already been crossed.
The moment you think you can handle it, that's when a boundary has already been crossed or a boundary is about to be crossed.
Right.
Because it is not the fire that gets you, it's the smoke. We want to talk about sexual purity. It's not the fire that gets you, it's the smoke. The smoke is anything that causes a boundary, a principle, or a standard to be compromised. You compromised by inviting him upstairs. But we didn't even do nothing now. We didn't even do nothing.
Right.
You just inhaled smoke.
Because the smoke kills you before the fire ever burns you.
You compromised by letting her just key in your face at the office luncheon and just keep touching your chest. You're so funny. You're so funny.
He wasn't friendly and laughing at all your jokes when your rib was there, though.
But you a comedian now.
Your wife was there.
I know we dismiss it because it's not fire,
Right.
but you know what it is? Smoke.
Purity assassins come with all the smoke.
All the smoke.
This webisode is deeper than a no sex campaign or abstinence. It's deeper than that. This is getting people to understand and realize the original kingdom agenda.
This is not us just giving you purity advice.
Right.
This is to get us to remind you about the King's way.
King's way.
Not what Jerry and Tanisha think, not something that we've Googled, not a test experiment, none of that.
No.
What does the King say about this?
What does it
We
say?
are doing
What does
this
it say?
to remind us of the original kingdom agenda
Right.
and also to expose you to the schemes of hell. See, hell has a desired generational narrative.
And heaven has a desired generational narrative.
Yes, hell wants your womb.
And heaven wants your womb.
Hell needs your seed.
And heaven needs your seed.
They're both. See, so you got to understand this is deeper than just no sex.
Right.
It's what we talked about before. Familiar spirits form tollways in bloodlines.
Wow.
But somebody has to stop paying the toll. The reason the enemy wants us to engage in sexual immorality is because it causes for us to continue the narrative of broken households.
Come on.
It causes for us to continue the narrative of there's something in this bloodline.
Right.
You got to understand it. This is why God says, I desire godly offspring.
Right.
Because I want kings and I want queens to become in covenant together. Because when a kingdom man and a kingdom woman
Come on.
wait until marriage
Right.
and engage in kingdom sex.
Right.
Some of us never had that type of sex. That's the type of sex that God blesses. Kingdom sex. Then they could have kingdom children.
Right.
Kingdom marriages and kingdom children leads to a kingdom generation. It's deeper than just sharing orgasms. Did y'all hear me? It's deeper than just sharing orgasms and somebody saying that you can't have an orgasm till marriage. It is about the original kingdom agenda.
Right.
Hell needs your womb.
Right.
I want your womb to be filled with counterfeits. I need your seed. I need your seed to constantly spill in the womb of counterfeits because ladies can be counterfeit too. I'm trying to carry out a generational narrative. This is not just us saying, hey, wait till marriage.
Right. Just don't
do it.
Keep it locked.
Keep it locked.
Keep it inside. This is not just about a man and a woman having sex together. This is about dealing with the perversion that is in our minds.
Wow. Pornography has perverted us.
Listen.
The music has perverted us.
Listen, the
Shows, movies
books.
have perverted us. Our minds are so perverted that it's hard for us to even develop a friendship with somebody of the opposite sex without perverting it to an orgasm exchange. And hell loves to collaborate with our perversion and with our ignorance.
Come on.
Did y'all hear me? I love to partner with people who have perverted minds and ignorant souls at the same time.
That is good.
Because now I could teach you my narrative.
Right.
So that when you're introduced to his narrative, you'll begin to say, nobody does it like that.
Like what?
Who does that? I want you to be subscribed to my definition of sex.
Wow.
So it's hard for you to unsubscribe from culture's definition of sex
Help us,
and
Father.
subscribe to the kingdom's view of sex.
Woo.
Because for many of us, our freak runs deep. Is that too real? Our freak runs deep. And we're wondering, like, I met this woman, I met this man, and I want to now do this courtship, this dating, the king's way, but our minds are perverted.
So messed up.
Because our freak runs deep. And dirty minds always lead to exhibits. We preaching on this webisode.
Man, that is why the word says in Romans that we cannot be conformed
There you go.
to this world, but we have to be transformed.
Where at?
By the renewing of our minds.
Yes.
Like, our minds have to be renewed because there is so much mess. There is so much junk. There is so much perversion. There are so many lies. And we need to be, our minds need to be renewed. Our souls need to be regenerated. It naturally craves after things that are perverted.
And I think that's the struggle. It's like we're converted, but our minds are still perverted.
Right.
Like
Help us.
I'm a new convert. I have converted my life. I've changed my life.
Right.
And I'm now striving to do things the king's way.
Yeah.
But just because I've recently have converted does not mean I'm still not dealing with perverted thoughts.
Right.
Because our freak runs deep. And like I said, the reason we're going this route is because most of the time when you hear messages about purity, it's like, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this.
Don't
Just
do it.
This is what you gotta do. Don't do this. Don't. And I want us to understand it's deeper than not just having sex.
Yeah.
Hell has a generational narrative that he's trying to get us to authorize.
Yeah.
Okay? Heaven has a generational narrative that they need for us to forward.
Right.
Let's give you some basic points.
Right.
First thing, for purity, I have to have boundaries. Why?
Right.
Because boundaries is a just in case blockade.
Right.
All right? Remember, never think your flesh is that strong.
Right.
Because I've had some perverted ways.
Right.
And I'm praying, and I had a season in my life where God is detoxing me. But just because you have not ate chicken for 60 days does not mean fried chicken doesn't smell good.
Right. It's gonna smell good. It's gonna smell good.
So I have to have some boundaries. I have to have boundaries.
Right.
Like when we were dating, we had a curfew. Some boundaries that you can have, give each other a curfew.
Right.
All right? Number 2 is what?
Accountability.
Yes.
Like, in order to help you maintain those boundaries, because you can give yourself boundaries, but you can break those boundaries and cross those boundaries unless you have accountability to hold or uphold those boundaries.
I need a seasoned, mature believer.
Right.
Not just a childhood friend.
Right.
I need somebody who will inform me. I need somebody to hold me accountable.
Right.
Same thing when we were dating. Somebody always knew where we were.
Right.
And sometimes they would hit us up and call, where you at?
What y'all doing?
Where you at, Jay? Where you at? We had a long distance relationship.
Yeah, we did.
So when she came in town to Houston, she stayed with my parents. Why? My parents always knew when I brought her home. I need to have an irritant. Something that will irritate my flesh.
Right.
Because it was my flesh desire to have her in my apartment. But the spirit's desire is, I want to protect you.
I need someone more spiritually mature than me in my life to help me, because secrets are portals to strongholds.
Wow. I wonder how many of us are dealing with strongholds in secret, because secrets can become secret warfares. And sometimes, as a couple, you are dealing with his stronghold.
Right.
And I'm dealing with her stronghold.
Yeah.
Because I don't have anybody who is stronger than me to be able to step in and expose us to the reality. If we cross that boundary, something's gonna have a hold on you.
Right.
If you cross that boundary, this is good. Something's gonna have a hold on you.
Yeah.
And maybe you're struggling as a couple because both of you are dealing with each other's strongholds in secret.
And number 3, the refusal of defilement.
That's purity. It's not just not having sex. It's I refuse to be defiled.
Right.
I think of Daniel. Like, I refuse to eat the king's meat.
Like,
just
no.
give me veggies and give me water.
Right. I'm not doing it. I'm not allowing my body to be exposed to that. I'm not. I value my temple.
Purity is the anthem of those who refuse to engage in defilement.
Right.
I refuse to let my body be defiled. And last point, this is foundational. I need boundaries, and I need to understand I want to live life the king's way.
Right.
That's my foundation, the original kingdom agenda. But please understand,
King's way.
please understand, if I don't allow a season in my life where I'm dealing with the things that my first teacher taught me, if I'm not allowing a season in my life where I'm dealing with what is perverted, I will be doing things in perversion, but still want the king to bless it. I need a season to detox. For purity, I have to understand my freak runs deep. My mind is dirty. God deal with this before I'm ever trying to deal with him or deal with her. Because dating is not a therapist for your perversion.
Right.
Redefine TV.
Or redefining relationships righteously.